Hey YouTube, welcome to development video number 6 for in Exilium. This video I have some pretty awesome things to share, so I'm just gonna dive right in. Um, this video I want to discuss basically two major things that I've been working on. The first being the art assets, and the second being the level design. So let's go ahead and just dive right in here. We'll go ahead and start with the art assets. So, as you can see, I've put some time and effort into finding some pretty good environment assets that I think go well with the game. Right now, I'm working purely on kind of the forest level, so all the assets that I've been working on and all the textures and models and stuff have been directed towards kind of creating a foresty vibe, and I think I've achieved that. I think this looks pretty like a pretty convincing kind of little forest area for the game. Um, also, I've been working with a character and monster artist, so to speak, to develop some cool enemies and stuff for the game and do some character art. So if we explore around here, oh, there we go. So we can see some up here. These are some examples of his work. Got the spider kind of guy here. We got a giant scorpion type thing here. This guy who is doing some work for me is phenomenal. I think that his style, his animations are literally like the highest quality, and he's got a really nice kind of hand-painted art style that I think will go really well with the game. Um, yeah, I really like this guy's style. Right now, he's also working on a character model for me and with all the armor sets and stuff. And I think he's kind of finishing up too within a week or so. Um, and so I'm excited about that. Needless to say, I think all the art models and stuff look really great, and I'm very happy with his work so far. All right, well that's actually basically it for the art. I'm gonna keep kind of just running around here and killing these guys so you can kind of see the art and see the animations and stuff like that. As I discuss the next topic, which is level design. Now, the most important thing I have to share about the level design is that I've actually finally started doing it. I've started developing levels for the actual game. Um, I've been working on this game for over a year now, and until this past week, I hadn't really worked on levels that would go into the actual campaign final product of the game. I've spent a lot of time developing kind of features and tools and cool things outside of the actual game, like networking and the battleground zone and the missions and stuff, but I never really dove into or necessarily thought really seriously about how the actual game would play and how I really wanted the actual levels to be designed and stuff. Um, and I've reflected on it a little bit, and I don't know why. There was kind of a hesitancy or kind of a fear, since this is kind of my first game that I'm planning on really finishing. Um, I hadn't experienced this transition into actually producing a product that other players will see. I think that there's kind of a fear there or a hesitancy of some kind to kind of dive in and commit to designing the actual game. Like it's so easy to just want to develop features after features after features, but then when it comes to, you know, really getting to it and figuring out what's actually going to go in the game, like there's kind of a mental block there, or just a an attitude that, oh, I'll get to that eventually once all the features are done. Once all the features are done, then I'll be able to go in and design a perfect game, blah, blah, blah. But I basically took the past couple weeks and threw that idea out the window and decided to really start designing the actual game. And I'm happy to say that I have a very clear vision for what this game, the campaign of this game is going to be, what the actual playable part of this game is going to be. And I've already started developing the first kind of portion of the campaign. I'm not going to show off too much in terms of kind of the quote-unquote story from here on out for the rest of kind of the development videos I'm going to post, because I don't want to ruin the experience of the game, because I think this game's gonna, I'm trying to go for kind of a unique experience that I think might be easily spoiled if I show off too much. I'll continue to post development videos on definitely on art assets and on things like that, and on if there are cool new features and maybe updates to the networking and stuff like that, or icon, all that stuff. But in terms of raw gameplay, I think I'm going to try to limit the exposure of that. Um, but I do want to talk about a couple things that were going through my head while I was designing that part of the game, kind of the aspect of the game. Now, I had two basic things in mind that I really wanted to accomplish with this game, and they're kind of two attributes that I've always enjoyed in role-playing games. Um, the first being I wanted to incorporate a good sense of exploration and mystery in the world, kind of the game world that you're going to be in. And the second is I wanted to develop kind of a well-rounded, well-balanced RPG kind of combat system. And the level design is going to kind of be tailored around those two core ideas. I definitely want to encourage the player to explore kind of this mysterious world kind of on his own. And I really don't like in games when the game kind of like holds your hand and walks you through the experience and basically directs your every move. This is way too common in games these days, I think. I'm attempting to design a game where the player can kind of explore anywhere at any time, and it's up to him whether he figures out the mystery. Mysteries in quotes, it's pretty loose because I don't know if it's really a mystery, but figure out kind of the point and the goal and the objective of the game, because the game is going to have a very clear objective and very clear goal, but it's not necessarily going to be obvious to the player right off the bat, and you might have to do some work to figure it out. And I want it to be an open kind of world where the player can kind of go anywhere and figure this out. Anyway, so the best way I can shed kind of some light on the vision I have for this game would be to combine exploration aspects from a game like Fez, for example. Now, I use this association pretty loosely because this isn't going to be like a puzzle game, and it's not going to be kind of insane paradigm shifting stuff. But I'm talking more about just in the way how the world of Fez was laid out. It was this kind of mysterious, world with a bunch of different kind of worlds and levels that you could kind of go and explore, and you weren't quite sure what you were going to find in all these different places. And I thought that was really cool. So that's kind of what I'm going for. Another thing is there will be maybe some combat situations, kind of like The Binding of Isaac. And now, once again, this is a super loose comparison because this game's nothing like The Binding of Isaac. But hopefully, as the game finishes up and people start playing it, maybe that association will make a little more sense. It has more to do with kind of situations you'll find yourself in. Let's put it that way. And then I want to take both of those and basically wrap it in a Diablo-esque kind of style shell that dictates, the basic kind of feel and look and design of the game. I do want to share a little advice to other game developers out there right now, and my advice would be to always consider the feel that you want your game to have. I want to share this because it's something that I've definitely had an epiphany on the past couple of weeks. It's going to be really natural when you start developing a game. It's going to be really natural, and sometimes it's a good thing, but it's going to be natural to want to develop all the cool features and cool stuff, and then once you have all that in place, it's easy to kind of get in the mindset that, oh, the game is just going to flow from these features. Like, oh, if I have this sweet battle system, then, oh, the game is just going to come out of it. Or if this really cool networking thing that I've got, or I've got great art, or I've got whatever, stuff like that, like, then the game is just going to flow out of that. And I think that is a false idea. Like, I think it could happen, and I think working on the features and stuff is definitely important. But I've come to appreciate having more of a clear vision for what you want the game to be, and then catering the features around that. And so I would advise other game developers out there, aspiring game developers, people who might just be working on their first game too, to at least explore that way. Think about how you actually want your final game to be, and then develop all the features based on that instead of kind of the other way around. A quick example in my case, I'll just share this, is this idea of missions. Like I kind of knew I wanted to have missions in the game, you know, or quests, so to speak, or something like that. And so I developed this pretty cool like mission system that went through, and you had to complete X objectives, and you could put missions in maps. And I originally thought that it would be your really generic, you know, RPG missions like go kill X enemies here, or go save this village here, or go collect this item here, or something like that. But as soon as kind of like this past couple weeks, when I've really worked out how this design of the game was going to be, and the vision was a lot more clear to me, the missions took on a whole new purpose in the game. The missions aren't going to be those your kind of generic like plot pushing missions where like you do these missions to progress the plot. Now the structure of the mission itself is kind of the same, but it just took on this whole new meaning and a whole new purpose in the game, and things had to be changed to fit that way. So instead of to relate this back to my advice would be, instead of, oh, I want to have missions, so you develop this generic RPG, it's an RPG game, so I'll develop this generic RPG missions, you think about how you actually want the missions to be incorporated in this specifically in your game, and then you can develop it from there. All right, well that's enough of that. That was just a little side rant. And I apologize for not showing more of the game off. I do have about eight levels done, and once again, levels is in quotes because I don't have levels in this game in the traditional sense of like you start at level 1 and you go to level X and then that's the end. But I do have 8 basically maps, I'll put it, of the game pretty much designed and pretty much done. But once again, I'm going to hold off kind of showing that stuff off to not spoil anything about the game. For now, anyway. We'll see as stuff goes on. But there are a couple things I can show off functionally. So, for example, here is portals. So I got portals working now. So you can transfer between different maps in the game. So here's kind of, as you saw in the name there, a hub map. I won't go out there too far, but and then here's the forest kind of area. Another couple things that I have working that I don't have currently in this build right now, but there is merchant functionality, so like an NPC guy, you could go and buy and sell items, and storage kind of functionality, like if you have a chest, you can store items and stuff like that. That's all 100% working. It's just I don't have an example of that in this build right now to show. All right, well that's basically all I have for this video, guys. The next update will most likely be when this character artist is done with the character. I'll show off the character model and all the new armors and all that kind of stuff, and the new animations and everything like that. I'm really looking forward to that myself. So anyways, that'll probably be the next updates. That's all I have. Please feel free to rate and subscribe if you like this video. It really helps me out. I'm gonna maybe start making a kind of marketing promotional push for this game once the character model is done and all his animations are done, and maybe the first basically part of the game is done. I'll create maybe a free little demo to kind of distribute around to kind of get some hype for this game. So anyway, please, yeah, share this, like it. It really helps me out. And that's all I have. So I'll catch you guys next time. Thanks for watching.